Right, so this is some of the dirtiest drivers I ever raced, and he just does not learn. Everybody knows the deal by now, it's fucking Monday, and the daily races are actually pretty good. The first two are kinda shit, not gonna lie, but if you look at the third one, Deep Forest Raceway, GR3! Not only is it GR3, it's actually pointing the proper way around. Last time I was complaining, the track was the opposite. Now, it's proper. So let's start with obviously daily race A, which is very mint in my opinion. Now we're driving a weird car. I have never driven this, never even seen this before. It's a Ford Escort with a very weird looking rear wing. And I mean, that's what Gran Turismo is for, not gonna lie. Anyway, the clock starts ticking and lights out and away we go. Not much power in this car, but it's, you could say it's a drivable car in terms that the suspension is actually pretty stable for its age. Other cars from that era are actually very, very unstable, especially Japanese cars. The suspension is so bouncy, so I guess that's some good news, you know. I never say no to a stable car. Anyway, going into turn 1, I tried to look for an overtake, and this happens. And the guy from behind just fucking grabs me, and I go off the track. The best start to the day, not gonna lie, at 9 AM in the morning. But surprisingly, it's also a 4-wheel drive car, and I guess that's why it's very, very drivable. Going, you know, just skipping the lap to the where I have the penalty. Or I have no idea why. Didn't even say I got a penalty for a reason. I just got my penalty and that's all I know. So a bit of, you know, FIA BS. I mean, there is no FIA here, but a bit of Gran Turismo BS. And over the years I've learned to put up with it, so I'm not really raging and throwing remotes all over the place, as a lot of my previous teams have shown. I've had a good rage issue, but I've fixed most of these. Now this is the drivers that had me. I think it was a Spanish driver, I don't remember the name, but this is the only Spanish driver I see, so it's probably him. And I'm not a dirty driver by any means, so I'm just gonna look for an overtake without revenge. You know, karma will get him. I just do my overtake, no girgir ziyada. I just turn, drive, and, you know, go with the flow. No need for extra penalties. And here's the issue with the race. It's boring. Like, there is literally nothing to commentate over. It's basically a leisure drive, and I wanted to exclude it off the video, but I was like, you know what, we have 3 daily races, let's cover all of them. So yeah, I'm doing exactly that, and we still have 2 more laps of this. Well, it's not a fun race in my opinion at all. Most daily races A are like very mid and a lot of BS all the time. I never usually do daily races A, but I started doing them literally for the pure purpose of finding content. Because again, most of the time they're really lame and lazy. But sometimes they do have some great, and I mean amazing races. Just not this time. And I'll be fair, you could say 50% of the time all the daily races are mid, not just daily race A. But you could say daily race A has a higher percentage of being mid. It's rare to see a good daily race A, but it's not for a daily race C. Usually daily race C is the best. Now, you know, looking for a lazy overtake next to this baguette driver. So yeah, literally that's the theme of this car race. It's very lazy. You cannot put much speed, and yeah, I mean, you got some elevation changes. The track is not good but not mid. You know, it's somewhere there. But again, it's not a good track in my opinion. You could have chose so many better tracks, you know, Brands Hatch. That would be an amazing track for this car. But apparently, you know, the Livery wanted some pizza on their Gran Turismo. As the Polish driver, you know, makes an overtake by a bit of questionable tactics, but you know what they say, rubbing is racing. This is the most action we're getting through this race. It's literally very, very bland. I'm telling you, daily race C is coming. It's wicked, but B was, I mean, it was better, but not by much. It's not night and day difference like daily race C, but you know, it's somewhere there. It's fun, but not the best. As I absolutely hammer my engine trying to get that engine brake to the max, Stink goes for an overtake on me. I mean, the baguette goes for an overtake, and I'm not really gonna fight it. The theme with this car is to be lazy. You cannot really throw elbows out left, right, and center. It does not have the capacity for it. The car itself is lazy. So you have to be smart with your decisions, smart with your moves, and you cannot be like raw. You cannot put on a lot of crazy moves. You have to be very, yeah, again, you just have to be very old in a sense. I mean, like, you have to drive like an old man basically. Anyway, going for overtake on the baguette again. It's the laziest overtake you'll ever see, same as last time. I think out of all drivers I got the best exit on that corner. And finally we're finishing this fucking race. The last lap. I actually have no idea why I included it in the video, but you know, there it is for any nerd who wants to see it. Probably nobody. But yeah, Baguette tries to make a move on me, but I wouldn't say he's gonna be successful at it at all. As we're getting close to approaching the second half of third, I think right now we're like at a third, no, more than a quarter, but less than a half. So you can see a third, yeah. And we're going up the hill, gonna transition into that right-hander. It's such a good track, but these cars are shit, not gonna lie. But yeah, you got this lazy-ish right-hander. If you have the right car, you can go through it flat out, but not this one. And then you go down the hill, you build up all the speed, and just be wary not to hit that barrier. And you go into this slight uphill on the brakes. It's gonna transition to a bit of a steeper uphill as you turn to the right. Which, it's a great corner, but just not in these cars. So yeah, fast forwarding to the end, because basically nothing happens. We finally finish. Yeah. Okay, that was such a horrible race. I don't think I'm gonna include daily race days in more videos from here on. I'll be fair, they're all very shit. Now, for daily race B, I didn't have livery for the car, and I'm a man who likes to decorate, so I found this. I mean, like, I couldn't just see it and not use it, I'll be fair with you. It literally says, boost me harder, daddy. How could I not? It's the law. Look at this. Cheapest hooker in town bites me. Nah, this is legendary. I don't care what fucking happens, I'm keeping this on my fucking Lancer. If I get cancelled, I'm keeping this on my fucking Lancer. It's an actual piece of fucking art. Anyway, starting daily race B. It's 5 laps around Red Bull Ring, and in these shitty cars, GR4. Very shitty, I know. I don't like driving GR4 at all. But delivery makes it less shitty, you know. I cannot stop laughing. Anyway, clock starts ticking, I line up, boom, lights out, and away we go. Starting in P2. Driver up ahead, he kinda knows his shit. I don't really know. I never ever driven a Lancer in my life, so this is my first time you can see driving it. And you can say I have a lot of experience on the track, just not on the Lancer, so it's gonna be a bit awkward for me, because most of my experience comes from SF23 and GR3, not Lancers. GR4, I mean, usually I drive like the Toyota GR4, but I'm driving the Lancer GR4, which is, again, I didn't even have the car, I bought it at the same time I started driving. So total, I have like 10 minutes experience on this car. So yeah, you can see driver up ahead, Romanian. Is that Romania? I cannot see really well. Yeah, he makes the overtake and he goes in front. So again, the theme of the race is it's not as lazy as the one before. There's a lot of action, definitely, and you can just have much more speed in total, and it's just a better race overall. The cars are faster, obviously, but I wouldn't say you can be hyperactive. You still got to be a little lazy and smart with it. You cannot force the car into stuff. You cannot, you know, do these major stunts or crazy moves you can do in GR3 and SO Super Formula, purely because there is not much aerodynamical element to the car. And I think it's a 4-wheel drive, I'm not even sure. It kind of behaves like a 4-wheel drive, but I actually don't think so, it might be a rear-wheel drive. But you know, you can feel the mass in the car, you can feel the car is just fat, lazy, and just not a GR3. And that's the point, I guess. That's the difference between GR3 and 4. I genuinely dislike GR4, that's the thing about this. Most my races I do GR3 or above, so GR3 to 1, and then you have the GRX, what used to be GT Sport, but now I have no idea what they did with the GRX section or selection. But yeah, I still drive the Super Formula and the cars that are not really categorized, but are like very high powered. Anyway, Mr. Sprite is right on my back, and he's looking for an overtake as I have to serve a penalty. I'm kind of in a kind of in a pinch, yeah, so I'm just trying to get away from him, and you can see he went for a bit of a stunt. The thing with this car, again, I'm not even sure if it's 4 or 2-wheel drive, but it behaves like a 4-wheel drive, so I'm gonna say it's a 4-wheel drive. You can actually throw it and do like a mini drift in the corner there, and yeah, you would lose a bit of time, but it's not too bad at all, actually. It's kind of wicked, but again, it's not my kind of car. again, it's just a fat car that rotates really well on its feet, but that's about it. You cannot really have that much rotation under high speed. It's just good under low speed rotation. And this car, like, when you brake, it feels like you fucking stepped on a wall. Anyway, major skill issue here. I slammed into barrier, and I nearly quit, but I was like, you know what, final lap. Is it really worth losing my driver's ranking? Because I don't like losing my driver's ranking. I was nearly at 8 until something happened, which was on video. Was it on video or stream? Yeah, stream. And I never really recovered. Till now, I still haven't recovered. It's been over 4 or 5 months, not 6 months maybe? No idea. I still didn't recover, and yeah, I cry myself to sleep every night just from losing that driver rating. I'm now in C, very close to B. I'm just working my way up, but I haven't been as active as I used to. I kind of like had a switch in platforms. I've been trying more ACC and more PC racing platforms rather than, you know, GT7. But it's good to be back to GT7 because I do miss it. I've been doing a bunch of AC and ACC, also a lot of BeamNG, and yeah, I really miss GT7. I haven't gotten a taste of home. You know, it's where I started. And to be fair, I think I'm gonna stick to GT7. In a way, I do prefer it over AC. I haven't tried iRacing, so I cannot judge, but I do prefer it over AC, at least for now. But in terms of realism, AC is of course the better game. Anyway, finished in P4 after that major skill issue. Not my favorite deal, but here we go. Haha, Livery C. I have, like, it's genuinely one of my favorite track car configurations, because anything with the GR3, literally the Porsche, GTR or Supra are my go-to. I haven't strayed off from these cars unless it's a weird ass race. But these cars are literally always my go-to. As the lights go out, I used to be a Nissan fan, but now I'm much more of a Toyota Supra fan, and the inner GTR kid inside will probably die. But hey, I'm now a man and I know what's better, and the Supra is much better than the GTR as it stands. Anyway, starting in P2, it's really easy to get up if you want. The strategy is, as always, I go with the hard compound first, then the softer compounds. That's always been my go-to strategy, and it's always worked for me. And in terms of strategies, I'm a mastermind of some sorts. No means to brag, you know. I'm just a chill guy. Anyway, everybody else is on mediums right now. Not everybody, but you can say most are on mediums. And I'm on hards. And this is where the issue is. They are faster. And they don't know I'm driving on hards, so that's why somebody just slammed into me. That can't drive. But, you know, can't hold me into him. I'm just a chill guy. Anyway, I just dial it back a little and lock in, you know. Lock the fuck in and just sit back and relax and just keep my head low. Nothing about this is relaxing, but you know what I'm saying. I just cannot do too much moves. And yeah, Karma did get him. He did get a 3-second penalty. So is he Italian? He's a French. Goodbye to Mr. Baguette, and I go back into P3. I was in P2. Anyway, hopes of catching P1 are kind of gone, and you can see we're going nearly 3 across into the final corner. And now we're like 4 cars in the pack. Now we spread out kinda, but like we were nearly 4 cars in the pack. And we're all heading into turn 1 at very high speeds. So here's why this race is good. GR3, it's you need a lot of skill to drive GR3 compared to GR4. So you only face good drivers. You don't really face shit drivers. Everybody knows their shit. So what's going on here is actually everybody knows how to drive, and that's what I like. And you can see me going for a mental dive into turn 1, which kind of paid, but also didn't pay much because the Mustang driver is now on the outside of me, and you know, you kind of saw him in the end where he's not the best kind of driver, and he immediately demonstrates why he's not a good driver. And yeah, it's not the first time. He just doesn't learn, and you're gonna see much more of him, but like just now. So remember, make sure Mr. Mustang is there and he's ready, and he's gonna come back. I promise you that. Now again, nothing too major. I'm just locked in. I'm focused on my own race because again, they're all on mediums. I'm on hard. It's just a strategy. And as somebody hits me from the back, of course, you know, gotta enjoy them back shots. Whoa. Don't worry, I drive cars, not make an OnlyFans. Anyway, yeah. You know, skipping a lap and a half, I think I kind of catch up to the back in front, and you can see how I'm nearly as fast as them, just a little faster on the hard compound. I don't know if they're losing strength on the mediums or they're losing confidence. No idea what's really happening with them, but at this point I am faster than them. So I'm just locked in. I'm not too focused on making flashy moves. I just want to get it done with and and stop dealing with mainly this Mustang driver, because we're gonna see more of him very, very shortly. He's Hungarian Pokakos. Okay, I'm not gonna follow his name. Mr. Mustang, yeah, it's gonna be an issue until I overtake him, which is, I hope, is now. So we're heading into the final corner of the lap. In his slipstream, and he's in the slipstream with the car in front. You know, the Supra has a straight line, and I'm just much more confident than people on the brakes, which I have no idea how he came up with that move, but he's genius, you know, the Hungarian ingenuity. Engineered whatever the fuck that was. I end up spinning, and the Ferrari driver ends up going wide. Wow, genius. This guy, he made sure nobody can overtake, that's one thing for sure. Yeah, and now I go back all the way to P7. I mean, I'm kind of at P6, but it's also P7 technically, because the cars, I'm side by side with the car, but they're no match for me, so realistically I'm P6. Anyway, you can see they braked a little earlier than me, so I just get to enjoy the corner until I display a small skill issue. But you know, no biggie, I just recover immediately, let him go. It's not an issue at all, I can catch him later. I still have like over 8 laps, yeah. 8 or 8, 9, 10, yeah, exactly 10 laps. So, you know, the Alfa Romeo is it's an Alfa Romeo. I'm just not too focused on making a hassle. I just want to overtake him, get it done with. If he's gonna defend it, okay, let him defend. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and save my sanity. No need for flashy moves again. So, you can see he's starting to drive a little harder than he used to. So, I don't know, maybe I'm pushing him a bit hard, but I'm playing the mental game here. So now in the slipstream, with the higher top speed here and the slipstream, he's not gonna have much of a choice over the chicane. I'm gonna be pretty much next to him, or at least on his bumper. So as we build up the speed, you can see that's the point where he's faster than him, and I'm just catching on the brakes. Again, just much more confident than the driver, and he makes just slight mistake, which makes me end exactly on his bumper. Now, again, the slipstream going into turn 1, very lethal. Here's where you can build a shit fuck ton of speed, and that's where the Supra shines. You cannot beat it. It's simple. If you go on the straight to the Supra, 9 times out of 10 you will lose unless you're in another Supra. Anyway, I make the overtake, and look, I'm in front. I'm still expanding the gap, expanding until the braking zone. Still expanding even after the braking zone, because to be fair, I know how to brake, unlike him. So yeah, I just get on with it and just drive. And you know, we're just gonna speed it up a little till we catch the pack in front. Back to Mr. Mustang and his friends. Now, they're not really his friends, they hate him too, but apparently they survived, so I'm just gonna group them all up into one group, Mr. Mustang and his friends. And yeah, you can see I'm just catching them, and by the end of the straight, I am, pretty much there. Now here's the Aston Martin, and I do make the overtake, and you can see Mr. Mustang going a little wide. No penalty there, I don't know how, but you can say rookie's luck. So I know what he's kind of like. So all of us, 3 of us, headed to the pits. We do the mandatory tire change, and finally it's my time to shine. Out with the old, in with the new, hard to medium. Yes, I mean, at this point I'm invincible. Everybody's on hards. Can they do anything? So we exit the pits. Mr. Mustang just in front, and Ferrari is also in front. The Rat King, yeah. So they're having their mini battle, and they're both on hards, and I'm on the medium. So I'm gonna have to do strategic thinking. I don't want to take something too risky. I still have other people to catch up in front. So I'm just gonna try to go for clean overtakes if they present themselves. You know, if I see a hole, I go for it. I'm not gonna attempt into building a hole. I'm gonna put the mental pressure, but you know, they already have enough mental pressure together. They're pushing themselves really nicely, so it's gonna all go into my favor eventually once they both go off the track or they go crazy. And yep, here's where it goes. The hard tires proves its ineffectiveness at braking, so I ended up ramming the Ferrari driver, and now we're doing a bit of rubbing. You know, that's just clean racing. Rubbing is racing, really. If it's not rough, it's not love type shit. So now I'm ahead of the Ferrari, and I'm looking to catch the Mustang. And yeah, he did build the gap, as we both had a horrible accident there, purely due to our contact. But not an issue at all. We still have a very nice and long road up here, and you can see he makes them an issue. Lack of skill, clearly. So that just invites me to go into his slipstream and eventually catch him onto the end of the straight. But I think he's a bit too far, so I'm not sure if I'm even going to catch him. But for sure, I'll be very close to his bumper. So I'm just going to build the speed and be very wary of his movements. I'll make sure that he does not, you know, do what he does to me usually. So as you got some drivers coming out of the pit, I almost looked at the inside, but he tried to close it. He didn't really see my bumper, so it ended up in a bit of contact, and now I'm on his inside. And you can see he tried to ram me. Doesn't learn. And he tries it again. He tries to push me off the track. But, you know, I display my expert level of driving skills, and I don't let him ram me off. Simple as that. He still didn't learn, and he's gonna attempt everything to push me off the track. He's even over-slowing here. Not sure if it's because of the hard, but I'm pretty sure he can drive the hard a bit faster here. So he's literally doing anything to slow me down. He does not want me to overtake. Desperate for a P4. Not a thing you will do. So I tried to make an overtake here, but he closed it off pretty nicely. So I just, you know, built the speed here. He went off, he hit me, and then he aligned himself. And now he's gonna try to hit me, push me into the wall so I lose some speed. And yeah, he was kind of successful, so I'm just gonna stick on his back and wait for an overtaking opportunity to present itself. Literally the dirtiest driver, or the most consistently dirty driver I've ever seen, because other dirty drivers, they kind of crash out, but this driver somehow is keeping it together. Anyway, karma gets him, and I just overtake. Boom, easy clap. Don't be like him, kids. Learn how to actually fucking drive, or else karma will get you too. As he had his nice breakout session in the barrier, I'm just looking to catch up to the car in front, you know, I'm not even sure what car that is, I cannot see. The Hungarian driver for sure, and the one in front of him. So as I get closer and closer to the Hungarian driver, going onto the end of the straight, you can see I'm pretty much on his tail. He's in the Ferrari, so I'm gonna look for the overtake opportunity, but there wasn't really one, because he just didn't leave his space to accelerate. So I'm just gonna go for strategy 2. Stick on his tail, stay in his straight, and just sit in there until I reach turn 1. Very effective in the Supra, and since he's in the Ferrari, the top speed is gonna bite him. So yeah, here's where the Supra is just infinitely faster than the Ferrari. And you can see, not even competition going into the corner. I'm just like as if nothing happened. And yeah, I did have a bit of a slip, but again, not an issue at all. There's not much to do. I'm defending here, but again, this is not a place where you want to overtake. It's not easy to overtake here. So I'm just chill and relaxed and focused on, you know, my race, not even focused on defending it. I just want to drive nice and clean and fast. Now, my goal is to catch up to the car up in front again, but it's a little far, so before I can fully lock in on the speed, I need to make sure the Ferrari behind is a little further, and that's purely to build the cushion, so I make sure he doesn't fucking ram into me like other drivers would. Yeah, GT7 open lobby experience, I know. And these are not open lobbies, these are ranked, but they still fucking happen. Welcome to GT7. This is why we have the best drivers. But yeah, P2 is about, I cannot see how many seconds that is, but I think, yeah, about 4.7 seconds. And if you look at it, I'm literally the fastest car on track right now, so it won't be long before I catch him. 4 seconds is gonna be tough to manage, especially that I have about 3 laps now. We're finishing this lap, so yeah, we have like 3 laps. So skipping 2 laps up ahead, and you can see basically on his bumper, it's the Aston Martin of the baguette, oui, croissant. Anyway, I'm kind of in a slipstream, just on the skirts of it or the range of it, but the super top speed will help me just block myself closer into that slipstream. So yeah, by the end of the straight, I won't be there definitely, but I will just be closer and putting that mental pressure on him. That is mostly what gets people to make mistakes, as I also go for a fastest lap accidentally. Anyway, he braked way too early, and that just led me into ramming into his behind. Very nice. I don't condone being dirty, but I couldn't really do much here. I didn't expect him to brake that early, so I guess it's fair game. So now you can see he's getting a little desperate to overtake me, like he's all over my bumper, and that kind of bit him because he made a mistake, and the gap not only expanded, he also got a second penalty. So learn to keep your head down. Literally, keep your cool and you win all the races. That's the rule of thumb I follow. Like, I no longer rage. I just keep it nice, cool, and controlled. And that literally carries me so much through the races. And I'll be fair, most of my old races I lost purely because of rage. I would make a tiny mistake and click on exit and fucking cry myself to sleep that night. And that's why I genuinely became this faster, more consistent, and better. just stop raging, because raging is for kids, I'll be fair with you. That's the most childish thing you can do. I'm no longer a child, I'm no longer raging and breaking shit, so you can see, results are coming. I could have easily exited after I spawned, but I kept it composed, and I recovered back into P2. That's very good from a driver's rating, which I aim to put to A+ as soon as I possibly can. And yeah, race is pretty much over. Pretty good recovery drive. Not P1 unfortunately, but hey, I'm not gonna complain.